Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's quiet.
The kids are asleep.
We're off the clock.
Let's talk. Welcome to Parents Off the Clock, where the kids are asleep and we're freaking.
Freaking, oh, you starting the year off crazy. Okay.
No, but I'm Sierra,
And I'm Chow.
and today I thought that it would be a good thing to talk about grief.
Okay.
Um, that's like a big subject, a big topic within life in general, not only marriage and not only marriage, but marriage with kids.
Yeah, no, I think grief it's a lot for everyone, and everyone processes grief differently. So I think it will be a good subject to talk about because I think honestly we know that we talk about grief differently.
We do. No,
So
there's like definitely two different aspects.
yeah.
So we recently attended my aunt's funeral. We laid her to rest, and it brought that subject up to me because grief is hard.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Um, I think my backstory on grief is a little bit different in the way I handle grief and respond to it
It's definitely tinted your lens, I think.
is bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's definitely tinted your lens. I don't know, because I haven't been the biggest griever, I guess, in my opinion either. But that's
You
due
haven't
to
lost anyone.
that may be the reason. I
I
haven't
mean,
lost
you've lost
anyone.
people, but you haven't lost anyone, like, significantly close to
Uh
you.
no, not until my granddad, honestly. I think since his passing, I do view grief differently. And I guess funerals as a whole differently,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. Something always makes you think about them in the back of
Yeah.
your head. Like, at a funeral, you might
Yeah.
not be grieving that person
Mhm.
particularly, but you're thinking about
Definitely think
the other
about the people
person.
you've lost for sure.
Yeah.
Is something about it. But no, I think that will be something good to touch on because we definitely have differences of views on that.
Um, so my whole backstory
Mhm.
on grief, I think I grieved hard as a kid. Like, people would die, I'd cry. I'd cry because I see my parents crying. Um, I think that's one of the biggest things is seeing other people that I care about hurts me. And then I lost my mother. So I was at the age of 20. I was in my junior year of college. I lost my mom, and that was the most distraught I've ever been, the most grief I've ever felt. And I haven't been able to feel grief in real life, I feel like, since
Mhm.
then.
No, that as I told you before, that I think I can understand more than anything. Losing someone that significant in your life is just I guess losing anyone after that can't compare. And you don't really
Right.
compare your grief, but it's like I essentially lost the most important thing to me. The rest of these things just don't fit that bill.
I mean, it is comparing grief, though.
Yeah.
And I touched on it with our therapist,
Mhm.
and I talked to her and I said, I don't grieve. Like, I don't feel pain. I don't feel hurt. I feel saddened. I feel
Mhm.
sad about what other people have to go through because I know what I went through.
Mhm.
But the sadness isn't always there for me. Like, I've lost since we've been together, what, two aunts,
Mhm.
two first
2
cousins,
cousins, yeah.
people that were very close to me, and I just didn't feel the grief is in like that. It's basically the grief I want to feel. And
Yeah.
it's, I think, also being in the nursing profession, it takes away the grief aspect because you see death and dying all the
Mhm.
time. And then when I did ICU nursing, I saw dead bodies every day.
Mhm.
I saw families grieving every day, and I think there's this wall that I had to put up in order to deal with that,
Mhm.
because you can't, like, you get a connection with your patients, you get connections with, like, their family, but you can't sit there and break down and cry because it's
No.
not professional, it's not appropriate, even though
True.
it makes you human.
Yeah.
it's frowned upon.
Mhm.
And so, like, you find yourself with a very dark sense of humor
Mhm.
and eliminating grief.
Yeah. No, I mean, given your background, I get it. But I guess to put my little 2 cents into it, you kinda hit on it. I haven't been close enough to the people that I've lost that I feel like I still had a similar stance to you, where it's like, "Eh." Not that it's like you don't care. It is the
Oh,
pain
you're
of
not being
seeing.
nonchalant.
Exactly, I'm not being nonchalant, but it's more of the pain of the people that you do love and what it meant to them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like, until my granddad, I didn't experience that. He was the first person that I lost that I did have a connection with that did make me feel something. A funeral that I did cry at. You know what I mean? So being like, I guess processing that, it didn't hit me until someone that actually impacted my life.
Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to the topic of grief,
Hmm.
what do you look for, like, support-wise from me?
Hmm. Oh, I mean, that's kind of tough. I guess because I haven't, outside of my granddad, I haven't experienced it. And I think when that time came, you were there the way that I would want you to be. You came to the funeral, you held me, you hugged me, patted my back, you watched me go through it and you were there hand in hand. Um, but without being overbearing, not asking too many questions, not being overly sympathetic of I'm sorry, and like the things that you appreciate that people do, but you don't want an excess amount because it just brings, I
You don't
think,
want that, "Oh, poop."
yeah, not that it's pity, but
No, it
it
is
gets a
pity.
bit,
That's what it is.
yeah, okay, maybe it is. You just don't want that overly obsessive I'm sorry for you thing. So like I think you did a good balance of being there without being petty.
Yeah. I think for me, pity is the worst, and I hate it, and I
Yeah.
hate people, "Oh, I know what you're going through. Oh, it must be so hard." Even if they been in a predicament, you weren't in my shoes, it wasn't your,
Yeah.
like, this was my mom, this was the relationship that we had.
Yeah.
You won't feel like you can probably empathize, but, like, the sympathy portion is off, and so then to me, because I don't want that,
Yeah.
I don't give that. And so
Yeah.
people might be
Okay.
like, "Oh, she's hard, she's cold," because 'cause I'm not calling you like, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, your mom died," like,
Yeah.
I would love to reach out, but then I look at what I would want,
Mhm.
and I look at, like, okay, so this might be the first moment of the day that somebody
Mhm.
calls and asks, "How am I?" And I answer the phone, and you go into a pity party. Now I'm fucked up again. Now I'm crying, and
Yeah. No, no, no.
I
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have
yeah.
been just looking for a regular conversation.
Yeah. No, I mean it's hard though because it comes from a good place. It comes from the right place. People are just trying to ensure that you're okay. They're just trying to make sure everything's all right and that you are, while you're grieving, you realize that you do have to keep going. Because I think people can get into a sunken place of like, I'm done. I just don't care
Mhm.
right now.
Mhm.
And you don't want to get there. And I don't think people that care about you want you to get there.
See, I think I also handled my grief very disproportionately.
It's possible.
So, like, my mom was always, "Suck it up. Don't cry. Don't let people see you cry. You gotta handle your business. You gotta do your thing."
Yeah.
And so she passed away, and I left school. So I was getting ready for class when my dad called me and said, "She's gone." Distraught.
Hmm.
I was literally flat ironing my hair, like, I can remember it, I can remember the smells that I smelled that day, like, it's very vivid, it will play back in my head and
Hmm.
make me break down all over again, and I went to Kent, and I drove 100 down the highway to make it to where my mother was,
Hmm.
um, but then that was the only day I allowed myself to, like, okay, I didn't go to class, I didn't do anything. The next morning, because I had clinicals in Cleveland, I
Hmm.
Well, that evening, I went back to Kent.
Mhm.
I got my books because I knew I had a test coming up that Thursday.
Yeah.
I got my books and my scrubs. And the next morning, and I think my friends text me like, "Where are you at? Like, why aren't you in class?" Like the nursing program was so close knit, and people were like, "Where are you?" And whoever texted me told the professor like her mother passed,
Mhm.
and the professor, I'm assuming, told my clinical instructor. So the next morning, I show up to clinical, and my instructor looks me in my face like, "What are you doing here?"
Mhm.
And I'm like, "I'm supposed to be here." You know, I didn't have the, "Oh, you get bereavement days. Oh, you get time
Yeah.
off when something happens." I'm like, "I gotta just keep going."
Yeah.
And I think I didn't process the grief well. And she's like, "No, you need to go home." And at that point, I literally broke down sobbing,
Mhm.
like in the middle of the hospital floor because somebody was like, "No, go take care of you." And I didn't have the time to process because I'm just thinking of, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And then, you know, my professor emails me like, you showed up to clinical. Don't do that. Don't show up to the test. We will
Yeah.
arrange to,
Yeah.
give you the test at a different place, a different time, which is so unheard of.
Yeah.
And the way they tell you how strict it is if you miss something, like, I'm just like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop because I'm like, she wouldn't want me to. And that's why I didn't stop. Like, that's
Yeah.
why I didn't give up because I saw how she handled grief.
Mhm.
9 months before she passed, she lost her own mother
Mhm.
and she didn't stop. Like, yeah, she was torn to pieces,
Yeah.
but she kept going and did everything that she didn't miss a beat.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I have to not miss a beat.
No, I get that. This is one of those situations where you're like, you don't like when people say they can only imagine or I know how you feel.
Right.
I haven't lived that. Whenever that time comes for me, it will be challenging. No matter which parent it is, mom, dad, a parent is a parent. And
Mhm.
losing that is one of the hardest things in your life.
It is, especially if you have like, especially
So,
if you're like this, like,
yeah,
we were best friends, like
exactly.
aces. My dad was jealous of our relationship because she'd be like, "Oh, Sierra's my right hand." And he's like, "What am I, your left ass cheek?" Like, and
No,
she'd be like, "Yeah,
it's
realistically."
one of them things that would be hard. Like, I applaud you for fighting through it because honestly, at your age, I don't know if I could have. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
was
Like,
20.
I would now
Mhm,
as an adult, someone that understands it better, and honestly having a family of my own that I have to push through because I just have to be there for my kids and you, but it would be a struggle.
mhm.
So it's like, again, applaud to you to fight through that. Did you handle it best by going to school the next day? No. But like, I get why you did it. You
I
know what I
had to
mean?
push through or I probably would have crumbled.
I
Like, I
probably,
I I,
probably.
like, zoned all the way in, like, that semester, I got a 4.0. That test I had to make up, I got
Mhm,
100% on it, like, I literally was like, "At this point, my focus changes in everything that I'm
mhm,
doing for her, and I wasn't gonna let her down."
mhm.
And so that's what I had to do. That's what I felt like I had to do.
Weird question. Do you think now that you're a mom, does your viewpoint on grief change? Has it changed you? Has it softened you up? Has it just opened your mind to it in a different way?
I, um I don't know. Like, I know if something happens to my kids, I'd be mortified
Oh, of
as
course.
far as grief goes.
Yeah.
And there are days that I do cry
Mhm.
because I look at them and in my head, because it's impossible for me not to think it, I say, one day you guys are going to lose me.
Yeah.
One day I won't be here for you. And I've, in my head over the last 2.5 years of being a
Mhm.
mother, I've said that in my own head multiple times while looking at my kids and just cry. So, like, when you see me looking at them and the tears are welling up, it's literally me thinking, like, one day I won't be here for you.
Yeah.
And it saddens me and I grieve for them.
I understand that. No, it's funny you say that. I don't have those random thoughts. Like, it doesn't come to me in that way. For me now, it's all like TV and movies. And it's just certain scenes in TV and movies that would make me think things like that. It's just like, it's weird the way that the emotions are brought out of me because I used to can watch TV and movies and sad things happen. People may die, sick kid, anything, and it's just
Mhm.
I'm like,
And
good
you
movie.
now you turn it around and
now,
apply it to you, like, if that
now
happened to
I
me,
might tear up.
like,
It
any
gets me now.
posts that I scroll past of, like, the sick kids with cancer, I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
tears
"Oh
me
my
up.
god," I'm crying.
Hmm.
Why am I crying at 8 in the morning just scrolling on social media
Yeah.
because somebody had to post their sick kid,
Hmm.
and I hurt for them,
Oh yeah,
but really it's me
projecting,
projecting onto my own
projecting.
kids.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or not that I wanna project that on them, but, like,
No, I get what you mean.
imagining what it would feel like
Hmm.
to go through that.
No, that's exactly what happens. Me and CJ was just watching what The Good Dinosaur, It's a Disney movie, but you know what Disney does. So it's just the heartstrings, and he lost his dad, and I was just like, man. But he was so proud of his son, and they were doing something together when he lost him. So it's like his dad's smiling at the achievement of what they just did, even though he knew he was about to pass. You know what I mean? So it
Mhm,
kind of goes to that. I know I won't always be here for you, but I'm happy that you're here and you're going to move on. You know what I mean? So it's just like that part got me. And I'm just watching a kid movie with my kid. And I'm like, I didn't used to be like this.
mhm. No, who would have thought? Who would have thought? No, I think I've always been a softie. Like, I cried at The Notebook, like, there's movies that'll, like,
Oh, you tease me.
timelessly make me cry. Um,
No.
so I've always had, like, that sensitive portion of me,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I could say that's technically grief.
Yeah.
Um, but I do wanna touch on, like, how you would handle talking to the children about grief, like, when the
Mm,
dogs die. So, like, our
mm.
oldest dog is gonna be 10 next week.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a strong 10,
He's spunky.
like, zoomy in,
He's
no
spittle.
limping. He acts like he's 2 still. When Brutus dies or when Bella
It's gonna be
dies,
tough.
like, how do we break it to the kids? Because when we went out of town
Mhm.
and they were still in the boarding place,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I came home with the kids while you went to go pick them up,
Mhm.
and CJ walks in and he's like, "Where's Bella and Brutus?" And he looked, like, genuinely sad, like, he'll know that they're gone.
Yeah, he will.
He notices it,
He
and
will
he loves
100%
his
know.
dogs, and so, like, when you're like, "Oh, they're not coming back."
Mhm.
How do you feel like you're gonna talk to him about where they went or how to grieve or how you're gonna handle that?
That's that's tough. Honestly, Lord willing, it's another 5 years because I think it would be easier when he's 7 as opposed to if he's 3. You know what I mean? With Bruce being 10, or I don't know, anything could happen. Depending on the age that he's at, I think that conversation is more challenging because I don't really know how to explain that to him now. Like,
Mhm.
what do I say? You know what I mean? Like, I can tell him they're gone, but I can't really go into depth on what happened and like why they're gone forever. He won't understand that. He'll just be very upset and very sad that he no
I
longer
think
sees
he
his
would
dogs.
understand because, like, he gets concepts. So if you say, like, Brutus was old. When people get old, they die and they go live with Jesus or, whatever faith that you have, or, oh, he's living on a farm in heaven, or
Mhm,
whatever you want their depiction of the afterlife to be that
mhm.
mirrors yours based on your faith. I think he'd understand it. And so then, like, he'd go around and be like, "Oh, Brutus is in heaven." And he literally would probably tell the whole
He
world,
probably would
go to
say
school, "Brutus is in heaven." Call
he
his
probably
granddad,
would
"Brutus
say
is in
that.
heaven." Like, he would probably do that. But I also think, like, me,
Yeah,
me and Brutus been rocking for the last 10 years.
yeah,
I'd be so distraught. CJ would probably see me being distraught and be upset.
100%. He's definitely very in sync with the emotions of the rule, and it
Mhm.
definitely his mother. So
Yeah.
if he
Because,
sees
like,
you sad, he's
when
definitely
I
gonna
was
check
in
in.
labor
Oh,
with
yeah. He
Polly.
was concerned.
He's looking at me in the face like, "What's wrong with my mom?"
Yeah.
And he wasn't even 2 yet, and
No,
he's like and I could see the concern on his
he was
face,
definitely concerned.
and that's sort of like I feel like he's emotionally mature in a sense, not in a sense, like,
I get what you're
maybe not
saying. I get
completely,
what you're saying.
where he gets emotions, he gets the tone that you're saying things
Mhm,
in, he reads the room,
mhm.
and he understands whether he responds appropriately
Yeah.
is one thing, but I think he's very receptive to conversation, education, and he'll say, "Oh, Brutus is in heaven." Later, he'll connect what that really
Of
means.
course.
Um, but I think being honest is how I wanna handle it.
Does your approach change depending on what has passed along? So you use the example of Brutus. Does it change if it's one of our parents or a family member that he's fond of? Do you change your explanation?
No, it would be the same explanation.
Okay.
They're old and this happened, or they got sick and this happened,
Mhm,
or, God forbid, they were in an accident. And, when mommy says, like, you'll get hurt, don't do this. If you might hurt yourself, get in an accident. Like, it can go that far,
mhm,
depending on how bad the accident is.
mhm.
Um, I would still explain it, obviously at a child's level of
Right, right. No, of
explanation.
course.
And because he acts for people, like,
He does.
he acts for who he speaks to on a daily basis, and so, if he doesn't speak to these people, he's like, "I wanna talk to them, I wanna call them, I
Yeah.
wanna see them." So, it would have to be instead of him continuing to bring up these people, and now I'm crying because you keep bringing them up,
Yeah.
you know I have to remind you, remember, they're in heaven. You can
True.
talk to them out loud. They'll hear you. If you
Mhm,
want to talk to them, say, hi, whoever,
mhm.
hi, I miss you. You talk to them like that. And
That's a good way of
you
doing
kind of
it.
have to redirect
Okay.
from the
I
physical.
can I can see that. Okay, that makes sense. I actually like that. That the thought of that as a whole is cute. So I can see how that would work.
Yeah. How they handle it is one thing.
Can't really control that. Everyone
Yeah.
handles it how they handle it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But
So
I think being supportive and, maybe an extra ice cream date or like a playground, like because, I mean, still they're kids,
yeah,
right?
nah, nah,
So,
it makes sense.
you're gonna have to tune into what they would like to do to try to help them deal with it, where
Mhm,
you might be like, "You know what? Leave me be. I just wanna lay in the bed for a day. I don't
mhm,
wanna talk about it. I don't wanna talk to anyone. I just need time to process."
mhm,
They might need an extra play date, an extra piece of candy, or extra hugs, extra love, like, whatever you see them need is what you just have to give them, and you have to be aware.
mhm,
And I think the hardest part about it is going to be managing your own grief
mhm.
while trying to support theirs, because you spiraling,
Yeah.
you can't really help them.
No.
So you have to find a healthy way to deal with your grief while also like you might have to put on a front,
Mhm,
you know, while they're awake. And once we're off the clock,
mm.
this is your time to break down.
No, that's definitely a good point. I guess to that point, the only time I've seen my father cry a handful of times, and losing his father was one of those times.
Mhm.
And I remember like we went to school, we came home, he's on the couch under the blankets. We're rushing home to play with him. Like it's my dad, you know what I mean? I go jump on him, all this. Lo and behold, he's under the blankets crying.
Mhm.
I'm not understanding. Like I'm like, what's up? Like you know what I mean? What's going on? Just lost his dad. We didn't know that yet, but he did.
Yeah.
So it's like I see him bawling. He sucks that up because we're home now. So he's, wiping him off. He shook it off. He's playing with us on the floor now. He's wrestling. As you say, he's got to fight through it.
Right.
because his kids still need him.
Exactly.
But it's like that's just one of the vivid memories I have of like seeing him essentially vulnerable. You know what I mean? And I'm
Mhm.
like, looking back now, completely understand. And I understand why he sucked it up and had to fight through it for his kids. But it's like, it's definitely a challenge of balancing how you feel versus your obligations you still have to get done, or how your kids may feel depending on their dynamic.
Mhm.
So, man, that's
I
it's
also
just heavy.
I also wanna touch on that too because I feel like this whole black man macho, you can't see me cry, I have no
Mhm,
emotions, I have no feelings, like, I don't want our son,
mhm,
especially, I mean, our
mhm.
daughter too, to grow up and feel like they have to suppress feelings, emotions, thought processes because, "Oh, I have to be strong." Like, no, I want our son and our daughter to
Mhm,
see you in vulnerable places, not just because somebody passed away. I want them
mhm.
to understand that feelings are real, they happen, they're okay, and to process them, you might have to be soft, or you might
Yeah.
have to cry, or you might have to be upset, and that's okay.
Mhm.
Um, I just hate that whole dynamic of I gotta be hard all the time. That whole you're not supposed to cry. You're a boy. Suck it up. Like,
Yeah.
no, no, cry, not be a crybaby. But like, if you're hurting,
Yeah,
cry. If something's wrong and crying makes you feel better, there's nothing wrong with it. Not really processing your emotions and
yeah.
allowing yourself to feel them, and you're just suppressing them in. You're just gonna be a ball of untamed emotions.
No, definitely definitely wound you up the wrong way, I think. I think at some point in time there was a miscommunication on the boys don't cry or you can't cry. I think
No, there's
it's
no miscommunication. It's said. Like, there's so many people that say that crap, and, like, it's the Black community.
but I think
It's
I
you're soft
believe
if you cry.
it should have been stemmed from kind of the motto you said your mom had. It's just you have to keep going.
Yeah, I kept
I
going, but
think
there were
that's
tears in my
where
eyes.
it probably stemmed from. Like as a man, you have to keep going.
But you can
You
keep
have to go
going and keep
provide. You
feeling.
have to go,
You can
etc.
go, you can provide, and you can feel.
True.
If you have to shut your feelings off to go and to provide, you're not really providing
It's
and you're not really going. Like, yeah, I kept it pushing because I had to, because I'm like, this is what she would want to do. But, oh, don't get me wrong, there
yeah,
were countless times I broke down, there were
of course.
countless times that I cried, there were countless
Of
times that,
course.
like, my feelings were just being displayed and I'm just so hurt. There were countless times that I took care of patients with the same diagnosis that my mother had,
Mhm.
and I'm up there questioning, like, "Why did she have to die?"
Mhm.
And you have, like, the success story. Like, I have guilt for how I
No,
felt
I mean,
about
that's
certain
fair,
things.
but I get what
There
you're
were
coming
also
from.
patients that I saw with the same diagnosis that did pass in horrible ways
Yeah.
in which, you know, we sent her into a comfort care situation to where she didn't have the ICU and she didn't have her chest caved in because she coded and didn't have
Mhm.
tubes and lines and all types of things that you just couldn't even
Yeah.
access her properly.
Mm,
Like, and I'm like, oh, thank God we did what we did for her because
mhm.
she died with dignity.
Mhm.
Um, but just because you keep it pushing doesn't mean your feelings and emotions are ignored. Like, son, yes, I have to keep it pushing, but you know what? And I have to make you breakfast today. I have to make you three
Yeah.
meals today. But you know what? Mommy or daddy, I'm not happy. I don't feel good.
I'm fucked up.
Right.
I'm fucked up.
Just like, I was just sick last week. You were just sick.
Yeah,
We were just going through it. We had to make it work. We had to push through.
you do.
And what did I do? CJ, mommy really doesn't feel good today. Do you think we can watch movies? Yeah. Mommy, are you sick? What hurts?
Yeah.
I have to get my doctor's stuff. And he's up here working on me.
Yeah.
He's touching my forehead. I said, oh my gosh. He's so in tune with his emotions
Mhm.
that he's understanding mommy doesn't feel good and I need to be soft for her.
He's a caring guy.
And I need to take care of her.
He's a caring guy.
If you shut those like thoughts off
Yeah.
now and
Yeah.
say, no, you're supposed to be hard. No, you're not supposed to cry. No, you're not supposed to show any vulnerability. then you can't even, like, show the vulnerability to help the person.
Yeah. No, it's what is it? Compartmentalizing? You did a good job of that whenever you went through what you were going through. It's something you do have to teach and develop in your kids and in yourself, really.
Mhm.
So I think that goes to the point of when you're like, hey, you have to feel when you feel. And you have to
Mhm.
understand when you can feel that and when it's not appropriate to feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And then, I mean, there's appropriate times where it's like, no, should you be at the grocery store full snot bubbling, breathing down?
falling out.
Maybe you shouldn't have gone to the grocery store. Maybe you should have, like, compressed,
Yeah.
decompressed, got it together, then went.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that whole macho thing is like a full body, all the time compartmentalizing of feelings. And that's where I
Exactly.
feel like that problem ensues where no one sees you have a feeling. No one
Hmm.
sees you have an emotion. You're nonchalant. You're
Hmm.
non-caring. You have to act like it. And then when somebody sees you cry, they're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Hey, this
Like,
must be all
what
bad.
is up with him? Because it's not normal.
Yeah.
But I think that like it should be normalized. Like I hate that whole process. I hope to
I
raise my
mean,
kids in a different space.
I do too. I think I grew up with a little bit of the you don't cry. So it's like at this point, I don't know a good phase in which I would cry in front of you or them, to be honest. So it's like I know I've cried in front of you before, but I like it's that I just what am I crying for?
You're afraid.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Like
you're
what
afraid
am
to
I
show
crying
my
for?
but, I mean, there's plenty things to cry about. There's
Yeah,
plenty things to cry for, whether it's, sadness, happiness, frustration,
yeah.
anger, every emotion, you can damn near have a reason to cry.
That is true.
Um,
That's true.
it's not showing that emotion that makes people think you're cold, think people think you're, like, heartless,
Yeah, true.
where, like, well, I had 2 of your children.
Yeah.
You didn't cry when my babies were born.
No.
We got married. You didn't cry when I walked down the aisle. Like, it's certain things where, like, even joy, I feel like your emotions are so stunted because of the we don't cry.
Maybe.
Like,
Maybe.
your emotions are so stunted. And then I'm like taken aback, like, oh, well, was I not beautiful enough for him? Or like, do these kids not mean to him what they mean
Yeah.
to me? Because as soon as I heard them crying, I'm like, ugly
No.
cry, sots,
Yeah, no,
not
you
sobbing,
you
like,
are gone.
every picture, I'm like, looking crazy, like, literally crazy
No,
in
you got some funny
every
pictures.
first picture after I hear my kids crying, like,
No, I
and you're
mean,
just
I don't know, because I mean, that's a good point though, because those are some definitely super emotional, super happy moments of my life.
mhm,
But I didn't have it. I don't know. I didn't have the tears there. But hearing CJ for the first time, I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Like it's overwhelming, but it's overwhelming with joy. Seeing him for the first time, cutting his umbilical cord, I'm loving all of it.
yeah.
I didn't have tears for it, but I'm like, I was overwhelmed and super happy. Seeing that Polly was a girl was so much to me because we didn't know at all. So it's like she was the ultimate surprise because the whole time I'm thinking we going two boys, and she shocked me. So
Yeah.
it's like hearing her, watching her just shoot out of there. And then being a girl, I'm like, oh man, this is it. This is a lot. But there was no tears there. But I don't know, like
But it's because they were stunted. It's because you're
maybe
thinking that you still have to have this, like, facade of, "Oh, I'm
maybe.
so happy that this," like, these men cried not making it to the Super Bowl, like,
I get that
losing
too though.
those playoff games. They're crying.
Hmm.
They're crying because they made it. They're crying because they win the Super Bowl. Like, it's certain things that, like,
I don't know.
that are simpler, and because they don't care,
Yeah.
essentially, what everybody else in the room is thinking, because it might not be I don't feel like you care about what I think about it, because I know you know how I feel,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know you know that I don't mind it, but then, like, you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, man, well, that doctor and then this
I
nurse and then
already
this
I
person," like, ooh, they might
I
be like, "Oh,
promise
I'm a
you,
bitch if
I
I'm crying."
I promise you, I don't care about that. The less I know you, the less I even care. No, but I don't know. Uh-oh. Mm,
"Oh, lady, you
but
got tipped over, girl. You better chill."
but no, I mean, because I like you said, there's been simpler moments, and I've lived through simpler moments. I've lost in the playoffs, like in high school when basketball meant everything to me. Didn't cry. Won a state championship in high school in basketball. Didn't cry. So like overwhelmingly happy at one point, overwhelmingly sad at another point. Still didn't really bring tears to me. You know what I mean? But like those things mean a lot to me. My high school state rings on my desk in office right now. Basketball, all those things. So like they mean stuff to me, but I don't know. The tear ducts just didn't.
So, like, realistically, how do you feel like you'll really process real
I'm
grief?
gonna lose it, bro. It's not gonna. I don't. That's the one time I don't think it's gonna go well. It's gonna be bad. Honestly, because
Because you
of what
don't
we're
know how
talking
to
about.
handle
Yeah,
it,
like, I
because
don't
you
know
don't know
what
what
I'm
to
going.
do, you don't know how to feel,
I
like,
think I might shut down, but I really I
you
can't.
haven't gone through the trials and errors of how much grief is too much grief
Yeah,
versus dialing back your grief and, like,
yeah,
emotionally, like, effectively grieving.
all of that. So, I mean, like I keep saying, my granddad was the closest time, but which I did. I guess I grieved, I cried. I mean, I was sad about it. I wear his ring now every day. So, like, he meant something to me, but I don't know if that was still a proper representation of what it'll be like when that time comes, when it's something that really matters,
Mhm.
not to be harsh.
Mm.
So, I don't know. Just be prepared to hug me, I guess. 'Cause it might get a little heavy.
Yikes. Grief. Good grief.
Oh, not the Charlie Brown. That's crazy. That's wild.
Unintended.
Cornball. I don't know this lady. I don't know her. You really cracked yourself up with that too. That's trash. that's, that's bad. That's bad, bro. I'm judging you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm judging you right now.
You can't judge me.
That was not that funny. You made yourself laugh at your own joke and whatever.
And now you're laughing at it.
Because it was
So what
corny
is it
and you
funny?
made it
It
cornier.
was not. It was not.
What was it?
You're just being a hater. Like,
I,
that's what I
I,
feel like. You're being a hater and you don't know how to process, like, there's
I
funniness
can't
there.
process my
You
hate.
can't process grief, you can't process humor, you just are a
Just a
pile
lump of
of
log.
processed bullshit.
I'm all griefed out. I don't know if I got nothing else on grief.
Mm,
I ain't really felt it in a while, so
good for you.
I ain't really bragging. I'm just saying. I hope you don't have to for a while either.
Yeah.
And to everybody out there listening that's dealing with y'all grief, just keep y'all head up, man. Keep pushing.
Yeah. There's ways to handle it, there's resources, there's places, there's people. Limitless.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right.
Until next time.
Peace. Good night. The baby. The baby. Go get her.